just happened?
What just happened?
What just happened?
What just happened?
What the f happened?
What just happened? I'm Dan. That's Julia. And today we're talking season 4, episode 4 of Servant called
Go!
Hell Yes. This episode was so good. My favorite one so far. Loved it.
Awesome. Yeah, it was great. I think I underestimated it a little bit. Like I was excited, but it was really good. We got a lot of good answers this week.
We got actual answers. Like, how long's it been since we got actual, like, concrete answers?
So long, dude.
Yeah. So they're starting to let us know some things. We're starting to really find out what's going on and what's going to happen at the end. And what happens at the end of the episode with Sean, we'll touch on it later. It's all setting up. Everything's on the same page. And I can't wait. So this episode had a lot of hype for me. I couldn't be more excited when I saw this in the trailer, the Halloween aspect of everything. So I was super excited to see how that would play out. And the fact that it lived up and then some is impressive. Loved it. And it has me really excited for next week now. I can't wait to see.
Me too.
So it starts off with Leanne talking to the mannequin, which we come to find out from last video, or remember, because Kizenbell let us know. It was Mrs. Barrington. Also, Mike Harlow, he DM'd me that on Twitter too. He was like, oh, it's Mrs. Barrington. So now I remember that. But she's talking to the mannequin, but in a way, it was like she was really talking to Aunt Josephine, right? That's the way I took it.
She called her mother.
Were you ever afraid of yourself, Mother? I am.
Oh, okay. I missed that part.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Kind of weird.
So she was saying,
I hurt people when I get angry. Maybe I get that from you. The scariest part is that I'm starting to like the way that it feels. Actually, I love it.
how sick was her face when she said that? She was like,
Dude, she gave me chills this entire episode.
oh,
Like,
yeah, a few times. Yeah.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy scary. Yeah. Like,
She's,
just made me physically uncomfortable.
Yeah, she's getting more and more unhinged as the episodes go by.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's so much fun. So then we see Bev and Bobby, the two live-in nurses, and they're talking to Leanne, trying to make conversation, whatever, I guess, try to get over what happened last week when she tackled one of them and ripped off her shirt with a dagger. And I guess they're all trying to just get past that, unless they're truly in on it, which I doubt for now, but you never know. But they were trying to get her to enjoy Halloween. And what sold it is when they said Halloween is for indulging in your darkest fantasies. So Leanne was like, wait a minute, I could do that. I could be on board with that. So then she's all in after that. She decides she's going to dress up. She's going to go out. She's going to go on the hunt. And it's so good. Loved it.
And boy, did she.
Oh, yeah.
She was vicious.
I know. But this next scene with Julian talking to Sean, when he said, we're both Team Leanne, it made me laugh because that's literally how they're Team Dorothy or Team Leanne.
I'm not Team Leanne.
And it just made me laugh. But the way Julian was talking to Sean, he was like, dude, get real. Like, she's made everything work out for you.
Yeah. She has. It's not wrong.
Yeah. And he's like, you gotta realize that. And Sean's face was kind of taken back by this because I think he understands and realizes that, but maybe he didn't want to like truly admit it or like say it and be like, I'm really choosing Leanne over my wife and my kid, which I guess Leanne thought he did. We'll come to find out later in the episode. And Sean's kind of reeling back. He gets a little quiet, and then something happens later that we'll get to. But while he's outside, he's getting love from all these fans.
Oh, it is you. Man, we're big fans.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, watch you every week.
Love your show, Sean.
And that was perfect timing because of what Julian just said to him. Is like, you're like super famous now, and she's the reason why. He goes outside, he's getting recognized, and his face and in that moment was kind of like, that's pretty cool. Like, all these people really like me. So it's like he likes it, but he's also guilty about it in the same time.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
this episode was like a battle with him anyway. It was like an inner battle to see which side was going to come out on top, the greed and the fame, or family. So
Right.
really cool. Really cool how they had that plot point going, and then the one with Leanne on her hunt. It was two different stories that each had similar value in the way that
For sure.
made this episode so good. Leanne's, she's Miss Paranoid. She's watching on camera. She thinks everybody's in on it. And what's kind of getting to me at this point, Jules, it's like she thinks everyone's in on it, but me as the viewer, when I see someone, my first thought is kind of that they're in on it. So like, I
was gonna say, yeah, they do. I feel like they did a great job over the last couple seasons, especially of implanting that in our brains that like it could literally be anyone, which means it could be like it's everyone.
Yeah.
It's like this guilty until proven innocent kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And like the way that they focus in on someone, or maybe they'll zoom in with the camera, or like tricks they do, and I'll be sitting there and be like, oh, they're in on it, but that's not always the case. It doesn't turn out, like, most times they're not in on it so far, from all the people that we thought were in on it. You know what I mean? We
Oh my God.
Yeah.
There were some big
And
mistakes this episode.
then a really cool part, she goes out to the park, but this pays off later, and I'll talk about it when that comes up, but tells her followers she wants them all to dress up. She gives them Leanne's mom's wardrobe, and she says, be on patrol tonight. They're coming for me. They grab their costumes, and then how about that line?
Can I tell you a secret? Sin can be fun.
That had me thinking of the whole fallen angels theory that people have. That was the first thing I thought when she said that. The way she was like,
think about that.
The way she was devious about it and brought up sin, and the way she said it and how evil she looked, it just made me think this is someone that completely changed and now is indulging in her dark side. But
yeah, I mean,
it made me think of that theory. Yeah,
that's a really good connection. I mean, now that you say it, it makes total sense.
I wonder if that one's going to be true. That would be cool. Like, I would be satisfied if that was what's going on. That they're all fallen angels. I feel like that would be a satisfying end. But we'll see. I don't know. I mean, Uncle George has a plan. We'll get to that. He's got his plan, and it's apparently in the works. Things are already in motion. But then we have the whole scene with Dorothy, where Bev and Bobby bring up what was his costume from last year. She didn't like the pumpkin costume. She can't remember. And then she says,
Oh, this missing time, like this whole period of my life that I just can't remember, no matter how hard I try.
And obviously we know that as a viewer, that there was a blackout period where she didn't want to remember what happened or accept what happened to Jericho 1, like the true Jericho. So again, something that's going to pay off in the finale, because there's probably going to be a scene where she does remember everything, or at least that part about what happened to Jericho. So I really like that scene, and it was cool. And I wonder if the nurses are there to help her remember, because I feel like that's all that Uncle George wants, is to expose her and get rid of her.
I mean, that very well could be. They have some rather unorthodox healing methods. So I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere along the line it jogs her memory about things. I mean, I don't know if I necessarily think that they're there on purpose to do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it definitely could be.
We'll see. That's it. It was something that was just on my mind. And since we know that they're going to be around for 5 episodes, they have a part to play in this. What is it? I don't know, but they do have a part to play. So we'll see. Sean takes Jericho out trick-or-treating. Leanne's dancing, getting ready, putting on her makeup. How about this? She goes downstairs. Julian says, "What are you supposed to be?" she's a doll. That blew my mind with the whole doll theory.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. So people, I think it was Mike that said it, that yeah, he thought that Sean was going to be turned into a doll. And I forget
Listen,
who
I mean, I'm
commented.
here for it. I
Me
want them all
too.
to be dolls. I said it in the last video.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
single one of them.
Everything's over at the end and Jericho has dolls of all the family members to play with. Like that would be insane.
It really would be wild. I don't think I would be mad at that, to be honest.
Listen, she could have dressed up as anything. She dressed up as a doll. Really? With all these doll theories going on. As soon as she said that, I was like, what? She's a doll. They did that on purpose. I don't know. This episode's great for theories. You know,
Yeah.
why do you guys think she dressed up as a doll? Is there something going on with that doll theory? Is there any truth to it? Or is that basically kind of giving us a hint that Jericho is the doll and they're one and the same? And he was, you know, animated or whatever, because people have that theory. I tend to sway that way, honestly, because we've never seen the doll and Jericho in the same place. I really like that. I like that she was a doll, and she looked great. They did a great job.
She
with that.
did. It was freaky, but it was
Yeah.
a great costume.
Yeah, but then she like threatens a kid.
You turn into a fat little worm. Nobody loves you.
What the hell is that about? And Julian's just
Is it
like,
bad that I kind of thought it was funny?
yeah, I mean, it was. But Julian's just like, what the hell? Like, what are you doing? You're gonna traumatize a kid? And she's like, I
sorry,
thought-
she's a theater major.
yeah, she's a theater major. Oh, that's such a good excuse to give someone.
Oh my god,
Like,
it was
that's great.
fabulous.
That's a great excuse. Next time one of my friends is like a drunk mess out, that's what I'm gonna say. Oh, he's practicing a role, theater major. So then Toby shows up, and as soon as he showed up, I was like, "Oh, this is the episode. He's dying." So I was wrong about
No,
that. Yeah, as
I'm
soon
glad
as he
you were
showed up,
wrong.
yeah. So they walk down the block together, and Leanne barges into someone's house, you know, pulling the same old routine. Well, they knock on the new people's house first. She kind of looks around, then they go down to the other house, and she just barges in and basically goes, you know, I'm here, do what you're gonna do. It's basically what she's saying to everybody, and she's just seeming paranoid at this point. And when that keeps happening, that tells me as a viewer, like, not everyone's in on it. You can't just say that about everyone, or you're gonna look like an
Yeah,
asshole.
but she's going
So,
on the offense. You know, she's
Yeah,
not
she
waiting
is.
anymore for them to come to her. Like,
yeah,
she wants to have the upper hand by being like, okay, I'm here. Do what you want to do. Like, I'm prepared.
I know. That, yeah, you're right. She is definitely in that mode of let's go, bring it on.
Yeah.
I'm here. What are you gonna do? Tells Toby to leave, and then someone's following her with the same outfit. She just thinks that's Toby. She gets followed across the street. At this point, I'm like, oh, it's on. I thought it was what she thought it was when the guy, but how happy was she when she realized she could fight this guy right there?
You're not Toby.
She was like excited.
She was like thrilled. She was getting off
like,
on it. It was great.
Yeah. She's like, you're not Toby, and smiles, breaks the dude's arm.
So
Oh,
creepy, dude. Oh my god.
That
Oh
was
my god.
gross.
And then he rips off his mask. That poor kid.
I know. Mom. He's calling for his mom. I know.
Oh
Fake
my
knife.
God.
Fake knife and everything. You know,
It
don't
looked
mess with
real
Leanne.
though.
It did. It did. 100%. You know, and she had her dagger in her back the entire time. So she was ready to go. She,
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like a weird spot to keep it, but
yeah, I guess.
like I feel like I couldn't quickly
Yeah.
remove that from my back. Maybe I'm just not as flexible as Leanne.
Well, I guess it's like the only place you can put it if you're not carrying a bag or anything like that. Like, where else are you going to put it when you have that costume on?
I don't know.
But and it looks cool.
Sheath on. I don't know.
But it's cinematic. When they first showed it,
It so is.
yeah, it looks cool. I mean, everything they do with cameras in this show is just like chef's kiss. And by the way, Sean's a chef for Halloween. Come on.
Oh my god.
Come on.
But Jericho's costume was so cute.
Yeah, a little lobster. Yeah. But I was just like, come on, Sean, give it a little effort. Like, all you did is go into
Yeah,
your
right.
closet. Like, come on. You just went into your closet and put on a fake
Put
mustache.
a fake
That's all
mustache, yeah.
you did. Yeah, that's it. So then after Leanne breaks that dude's arm, she's walking down the block and we see that ghost again. they showed that ghost like 3 times
Oh
in
my
this
God,
episode.
wait. I literally, as soon as I saw him the first time, I went, that's definitely Uncle George.
Oh, hell yeah.
Out
Great
loud,
call.
out loud to myself. Just definitely him. 100%.
Great call. Yeah. Turned out to be him. Before we saw the reveal, you see Roscoe in the park looking concerned that all of her followers are basically partying. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, he's mad that they're not on guard. But nope. Turns out he is a double agent. We did say that here. We said he could be a double agent. So that's one thing that we got right so far. And it makes sense. It tracks because remember,
Yeah, absolutely.
when Uncle George was in the hospital, Roscoe was there visiting him. He had a life-changing experience at the Church of Lesser Saints, base, whatever, when he saw the man with the hook hand. It truly traumatized him.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's never going to mess with those people. So it makes sense. It does make sense.
So are we nixing the mind control theory? Or do we just think that Leanne just thought that he was already kind of under her spell?
Yeah, probably that. But, maybe she doesn't do that to everyone. And maybe not. Yeah, maybe we are nixing that theory because Sean kind of breaks out of it by the end, right?
Yeah,
So,
like I feel like people
maybe.
are starting to turn on her. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I'm losing my faith in that theory a little bit.
Right. So they kind of did this scene at the same time as Roscoe and Uncle George. We'll get to what they were talking about. But then Leanne spooks another little girl and then says, is this scary? And blows up like a power line with her powers. I'm guessing. Is that what happened? When she loses full control, how much damage can she truly do? Because she's doing that and not even breaking a sweat. Like, that's
She
nothing
didn't even
to her.
blink. Like,
Yeah.
she didn't...
Yeah. It's nothing to her. So the whole, the carry theory, I'm really digging at this point. That it's going to be similar to that at the end, where she's just no holds bar, blows the house up, goes crazy. It's going to be epic. I cannot wait. So then we see Uncle George and Roscoe talking. It's revealed that Roscoe is a double agent. He's been helping Uncle George. Uncle George says, like, you're the only reason that we can get close to her. Like, we need you. Roscoe's worried about his kids. But then Uncle George is like,
there will be no world for your children. Chaos accelerates. The city will fall, and that's only the beginning. Certain pieces are already in place. And if I'm not mistaken, even the Turners will be ready to help us.
Turns out to be right, which we'll find out in a little bit. But I gotta wonder how he had that inkling.
I think, first of all, I think Uncle George just kind of knows things. He seems like that kind of guy.
Yeah, I agree. And I really liked the conversation they had because this was the concrete answers we've been looking for. And we know that Uncle George has a plan in place because he says some pieces are already in place. Like, it's already going. Like, this is happening. We can't back out now, but maybe it's too late.
I worry we waited too long to stop her.
Maybe it is too late and we can't stop her. So him saying that this is just the start is making me think, like, how much damage can she really do then? If he's that worried, he's like, there won't be a world for your kids to be around. So, like, what's she gonna do? She's gonna destroy the world? Like, come on.
I mean,
Crazy.
we've had some apocalyptic theories.
We have. Yeah. I mean, that's what Mike said. It's not going to be a happy ending for anyone.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's gonna, I feel like that's gonna be one of those, like, if Leanne can't be happy, nobody can kind of moments.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to wonder if she's going to win in the end. It could go either way. And I wonder if they'll do that. I don't know.
And, like, the more she acts like a spoiled teenager, the less I the less I root for her. Not that I'm really rooting for her, but
I know what you mean. The more she unravels and the more she seems like out of touch now, where she's just focused on kill, 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 and no one can kill me. Like, she's a little cocky.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I'm like, whoa, girl, slow down there.
Yeah, that might not bode well for her, the way her attitude is changing. Because if she still had her guard up and was willing to admit that something bad could happen to her, maybe she would defend herself more. But we'll see. So
yeah, I'm kind of thinking that might be a big mistake on her part.
I'm
thinking, like, before she loses her shit completely. I think she's gonna slip up and someone's gonna get her. Maybe Uncle George.
Could be, yeah. I mean, that could be her downfall because she knows she has these powers and she feels powerful. She has these people protecting her in the park, even though they weren't really doing their job. They were all just kind of partying. But yeah, she's kind of a little too cocky there. So we'll see
Getting
if
a little
that
sloppy.
she is getting a little sloppy. That's a good way to put it. You know, we'll see if that comes back to bite her. Because then even like, so you had Uncle George saying that, and then she walks in the house laughing like a madman. And you know, I
Wait,
fucking
and
love Halloween.
I loved the way they shot that from
Yes,
above.
yes,
I thought that was incredible.
so good.
It just gave
And
it so much more of a creepy feel.
yeah, it really did. I mean, the camera work in this show is one of the reasons I love it so much. But yeah, I really like that shot, and I like the way how the room kind of shifts from that shot to show, you know, she says, "Oh, you're still up." To me, I'm thinking that's Julian. Shifts over, it's Sean. He's
Yeah.
been there waiting for her. You know, got to have this talk, and it kind of is spoken out loud to the viewer for the first time that Leanne thinks that he chose her. He can't go back. You made your choice. You know, you can't have both. You're either going to be the success and the star, or you're going to have your family. You can't have both, but you're already picked.
You've already made your choice. So be an adult and deal with the consequences.
And that really rattles him to the bone. It really gets him. He did not like that. That was tough. She walks off after that, and then he goes talk to Dorothy about it. And for the first time since the show has started, he's willing to get rid of Leanne. He'll do whatever it takes to get rid of her.
I'm prepared to do whatever it takes to get rid of Leanne. I'm with you now.
Dorothy is beyond happy to hear this news. She thought it was a lost cause. I don't even think she was going to ever bring it up. Like, she would bring it up still, but like, you know what you have to do. She would say that type of thing, but they would never really get into it. So the fact that they had
she
that
didn't have any
conversation,
like hope behind it for sure.
Right.
But honestly,
Yeah.
neither did I.
Yeah, me either. Yeah, I thought he was long gone. I mean, people brought that up in comments, the way he treats her, the way he doesn't acknowledge the kid. But he did this episode. He took Jericho out trick-or-treating. So, you know, he's trying to backtrack a little bit and get his family back. We'll see if it's too late. I don't know. I mean, Uncle George has the worries that it's too late, that they can't even stop her. So does he have any hope if Uncle George thinks it's too late to even stop her, or is worried about that?
I don't know. I think if they like team up, they could have a chance.
And I think that's kind of what Uncle George was leading to by saying that, like, if the Turners help us, we have a better shot, and we need you, Roscoe,
100%.
to get them to help us. Fantastic episode. It was so good. We got some answers.
Yeah.
It progressed the plot. It was exciting. It was well written. It was well shot. It was everything you want in, you know, one of the last 6 episodes of Servant. I was very happy with this one.
So sad it's almost over.
It's so sad, but it's also so cool. Because
I know.
It's all clouded in mystery. Everything's a secret with Servant. Everything. And we're starting to get answers. Like, that's the coolest part. But yeah, it is sad. No, I don't want it to end. I don't want it to be truly over. You know, I wish there was like a movie after this or something like that. Like, we had like one more thing to look forward to.
That'd be great.
That'd be cool. But what did you guys think? What are your theories? Drop everything below. We're going to do another theory video this week with Kiz and Bell. Get crazy, and we'll answer as many as we can. Thanks so much for watching. Drop all your theories below. Get crazy. What do you think's going to happen? How's Roscoe going to interact with Sean to let him know about Uncle George's plan? Are we going to see a scene with Uncle George and Sean next week? How's Julian going to take this news? Is he going to want to turn on Leanne too? I don't know about that one. That's a very tough one. And how do you think it's all going to end? Drop your craziest theories below. We'll get to as many as we can. But thanks so much for watching. See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Fuck you.